Good morning, Georgina. Thank you so much for agreeing to come and talk to me today about your experience of our CPCAB Level 5 Attachment Psychotherapeutic Diploma course. Before we get going, I wonder if it's okay if you just say a little bit about you, who you are and what you do.
Yeah, of course. So I'm Georgina. I'm a counsellor in private practice. So I work online with women across the UK, and I'm also a lecturer in counselling on CPCAB courses.
Wow. And Georgina, what made you decide to enrol for the Level 5 Diploma in Attachment Psychotherapeutic Counselling?
So I finished my level 4 diploma and was qualified and was working private practice. And when I'd finished my diploma, I'd kind of said never again. I don't think I want to go back into that kind of studying. But as time went by, I realised that I really missed being part of something bigger. I was doing training through kind of sort of CPD courses, and it wasn't really giving me what I needed, which was that kind of ongoing learning as part of a group of peers with live sessions and really feeling like I was building something that would help me in my practice. And so I had a look around, and attachment theory was something that had really resonated with me. It was something that I'd been really curious about during my level 4. It was something that had given me some insights personally. And so when I came across the course, I knew that it was going to be something that would really, really enrich my practice. I knew of Jo professionally, and I knew that she and the course were very highly regarded. I liked that it was online because it made it really accessible for me. And I also knew that at some point during the year, I'd like to start thinking about applying for accreditation. And when I looked at the structure of the course, I could see that building towards a case study was going to be something that would be really helpful for me as part of that process.
Yeah, yeah, we've mapped the case study to the scoped and certainly the BACP accreditation process. So you kind of get two for the price of one, don't you, when you've written it, which is helpful. So when you joined the course, what were your first impressions? For example, the content, the people, the structure?
So before the course started, I had a real sense that it was a course that was going to be really well organised and really well structured. We were given all of the information, we were given access to the platform and resources, the reading list, all the things that you would hope for when you sign up for a course like this. And then when I began the course, I think what I really took on board was that the group was going to be really, really diverse, not just in terms of the kind of diversity that we think of as counsellors, but also the diversity in terms of counselling. So people coming from different backgrounds, different modalities at different stages in their career, with different intentions from the course. And that brought a real kind of richness to it, I think.
Yeah, and I guess as well because it's online, and certainly in your cohort, we had students from far afield like Japan
Yeah.
and Hong Kong. So yeah. So during the journey of the course, were there any key moments or topics that really struck you with you or shifted something for you? Any sort of light bulb moments?
There have been so many during the course. I think something that I really got to grips with quite early on is that attachment theory isn't just about attachment styles. If it was, you could cover it in one lesson, right? You wouldn't need to take an in-depth view of really understanding it all. So it was kind of all the different strands that weave into attachment theory, the idea of the defenses that we form, understanding the neuroscience behind it and learning about mentalization, and also the way that attachment underpins so many of the different presentations that we might see in the therapy room. So anxiety, depression, addiction, relationship difficulties. So all of that stuff has really helped me to learn about myself and learn about my practice. But another big part of the course was learning about my personal attachments. So in terms of my own personal life, but also maybe more importantly for my practice, how that plays out in the therapy room. So the way that a therapist's attachment impacts on countertransference and what that means in terms of our client work, how we can use it to enhance our client work, and also how we can think about it in our relationship with our supervisor. So that's been a massive takeaway for me.
Yeah, yeah. I say, don't I, that having this kind of attachment lens is like having a pair of night goggles
Yeah.
that we can see, our clients in a world far more clearly and help them understand them and see them. Yeah. And we incorporate, don't we, an attachment compass model. And how have you found having that model in your clinical practice?
I think the model's really useful because, I'm an integrative practitioner, so I came in with my own framework of integration. And what the attachment model does is it kind of works alongside that. So it's not about saying you've got to unlearn everything that you know or how you work, but it's about offering a framework to use the different topics and strands that we cover during the year. So that when you're working with a client or when you're reflecting on client work or when you're planning a case study, you can think about what are the different things that are happening with this client, what has happened so far in the work, what is yet to happen. Because the compass, as you follow it around, you don't have to follow it in a linear way, but it's about understanding that there are different points where attachment-based therapy can really help and support our clients. So I've really liked that. I found it really helpful.
Kind of gives you a bit of a map, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Where you are, and especially I think when you get a bit stuck, some clients get a bit stuck, you can use that to get unstuck. Yeah. So I wonder if you could give any advice to anyone considering this training.
I think that if it's something that you're considering, particularly if attachment theory resonates with you, which I know it does with so many people, I really wouldn't hesitate. I think sometimes the idea of these courses can feel, I don't know, maybe a bit intimidating, or maybe it feels like a lot, but it's so worthwhile. When I look back over everything that I learned over the course of the year, I think it's transformed my practice. It's changed a lot about the way that I understand myself in relationship with others. And I'm so glad that I did it. So if I was talking to myself at the beginning of the course and I was kind of curious about whether or not I would go for it, I would say absolutely don't hesitate.
Yeah, you're right. A big part of this training is about us really resonating with Roger's words that we can only ever take a client where we take ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you get the most out of the investment of the course, is to really kind of throw yourself into that personal development.
Mm.
So, yeah. So would you say the course is good value financially and in time?
I would say absolutely is. When I think about other CPD courses, kind of one-off bite-sized bits or time and money that I've spent on other things, the fact that I've done this year that has totally transformed the way that I work. It's changed a lot about the way that I understand myself. It's given me a new cohort of peers.
Mm.
It's given me the backbone of my accreditation. There's so much that it has given me for me, it's absolutely been good value.
Thank you, Georgina. So would you recommend the course then?
I think I think it sounds like you probably know the answer to that one.
Yeah, I think I do. Well, I really appreciate you giving up your time and agreeing to come and share your experience. And I hope it's going to be helpful for anyone who's thinking of joining us next year. Thanks, Georgina.
Thank you.